we got 3 great Thanksgiving games coming up, so I'm going to rank the kickers in these ball games. The first guy's Justin Tucker, the Baltimore Ravens. This guy's the best kicker in football. He don't miss. Best kicker in fantasy. He can hit from anywhere, even though he's not number 1 in points. Every year, you're drafting him to be that number 1 to number 3 kicker in points for the league. So Tucker, you're not going to go wrong with him. He'll get you double digits just about each and every week, and he's number 1 versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. The number 2 kicker here I'm going to go with is Matt Prater, the Detroit Lions. He's indoors. He's got another good matchup here versus the Houston Texans that they give up points. I don't care that the Lions got shut out last week versus the Carolina Panthers. Lions are at home. They play better at home. Prater, he's going to get chances. And the Texans, they give up a lot of points, like I said, and this could be a decent shootout game. So Matt Prater, I could see him hit a 50-yarder or 2 in this one. And I think he has a double-digit fantasy game as well at the kicker spot. So he's number 2 at kicker. Number 3 kicker of the week is going to be Ka'im Fairbairn. I believe he'll have a good game as well. They've been scoring points. Last week, a double-digit fantasy game for Fairbairn in Week 11. Now he's indoors again as well. And this is why I like. If you got a kicker and he's indoors, that's a big plus, obviously. You don't have to deal with the fact is he could attempt longer field goals. And that's why I'm putting Fairbairn over here at number 3. I think Fairbairn, he's going to get a bunch of opportunities versus Detroit. Detroit, they're not a great team. They give up a lot of points and field goals. And Fairbairn, he could have his way in this game on Turkey Day. So he's number 3. Number 4, Greg the Leg Zuerlein of the Dallas Cowboys. Last week, he didn't have to do much because the Cowboys actually scored 4 touchdowns in that game last week versus the Minnesota Vikings. Now they got Washington coming to town is Dallas. We'll see what Greg could do. I think both teams are going to move the ball decently, but this is going to be a low 20s type of score, like a 23-20. It's going to be a close game, I believe. It's going to come down to a few field goals, and I think Greg the Leg, he's going to have a decent ball game, so I rank him as the number 4th kicker. The number 5 guy is Chris Boswell, the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's nice to see him finally have some double-digit fantasy games. With back-to-back double-digit fantasy games is Boswell. This Steeler team's loaded. They're the best team in football right now. At 10-0 is Pittsburgh. And Boswell, he's got a decent matchup versus Baltimore. This game, I think, is going to be more of a defensive battle in a way, where Boswell is going to get 3 or 4 field goal attempts. And I think he could take advantage of it. He's not a guy that's going to kick huge 50-plus yarders, but a guy anywhere from 35 to 45. He's a pretty safe bet to hit those field goals. So I like Chris Boswell as the 5th kicker. And the 6th and final guy is Dustin Hopkins. He's been a quiet kicker this year, but he's had a couple double-digit fantasy games now in his last 2 out of 3 fantasy ball games. And Hopkins, Washington, they could have a good chance of going up and down the field versus a weak Dallas Cowboy defense. So he's going to get opportunities, but he's just going to be ranked the 6th kicker this week on the list. So that's the kickers I'm ranking heading into the Thanksgiving games this Thursday.